Hey guys, so today's been a long day. I've been working on one, I washed my hair and got it done. Two, I was working on finalizing the calendar for a journal mood as well as a blog post about a journal mood challenge for this month. So if you already follow me on Instagram, you go ahead, the calendar is up. If you do not have Instagram, you can head over to the blog comfycozyup.com and you can acquire the calendar on there as well. If you are completely new and you're not sure what this is about, I host a journal challenge called A Journal Mood, and I've been hosting it for over 2 years now. Last month was a 2-year anniversary, and it is a challenge that we do, one in spring, seasonal, spring, fall, summer, spring, summer, fall, and then we'll do the December. December is a little different from the other challenge because December is only 7 days. And it is the last 7 days of the year, and the whole idea is to get you in a certain mood to start a new year. Now, I have a theme. Last year was positivity. This year it is about moving forward. Yes, we've all felt very strange in the last 2 years of things that's happening, and some of us are stuck. And the whole idea of moving forward is not just to write about what you want to move forward, and is how you plan on moving forward. So these 7 words that were submitted by a group of people, and I had narrowed down. I got a lot of words this time around, so it was a little difficult to narrow it down to 7. But I chose 7 that is really connected to the whole idea of moving forward. So you're going to use these words to help you, to motivate you, to write about things that concerns you and how this word affects you, and how you can use this word to do things to move forward, things you want to accomplish, things you are doing at the moment that you want to maybe change up a little bit or tweak a little bit, or something new you want to try. But how are you going to do it? Not just you want to do it, but how you're going to do it. So you're going to write in your journal for the 7 days about how you're going to use each word, what area these words each word affects, how you're going to change it, and implement ways in your journal to do that. Now, as a community, it becomes more fun when you kind of put a picture or an actual video of you writing in your journal. We do not have to see what you're writing because this is your private space. But just say, a video on your stories or something like that of you writing in your journal, and add some music to it. This way we know you're doing it. And it becomes more fun, especially when people select certain kind of music to go with it. So we're going to do that. Now, typically I have a Zoom chat. I haven't decided when, and if we're still going to do a Zoom chat or something else similar to that. I will let you guys know. I put a poll up in my Instagram story. I would try and find a way, because most of the people who do the challenge are on Instagram. And I know there are there's a decent amount actually that don't do Instagram but do my challenge and let me know. So I'll find a way to do it because it's so short, and the first Sunday is right after Christmas Day. So I'm not sure what people's schedule look like when they're with their family or that kind of thing. So I will, within the next few days, sort that out and let you know what I'm doing. There's also some other things that I want to do that I will also tell you before the challenge actually start. So with that said, go hop over, get the calendar, and get your journal ready. All right. So now I want to move over to some questions that was asked. So one of the questions that I got when I did my 2-year anniversary of Journal Mood. So I've been journaling since high school, but I've only been daily consistent for 2 years. We're talking since October 1st of 2019. I have written every day in my journal. And I did it for the fact that I was in a very stressful, the stress level was high at the time where I started. But the more I journal every day, the more I realized that those are not the only moments I should write about. every experience, as far as sad, happy, you know, excited, every kind of emotion I should embrace. This way that journaling becomes a routine and not so much a dread of doing because it's associated with something sad. My journal is associated with all my emotion. This is why I've been able to journal every day since October 1st of 2019. So one of the question I asked from a subscriber was how to start a journal. So I always say, why do you have to ask yourself, why do you want to journal? What do you want to journal about? What is making you think about journaling? And that's going to motivate you to decide what kind of a journaling that you want to do, because there's different methods. There are some that are very much associated with affirmation, and there are some that are about memory keeping, and there are some that, like me, who use word prompts. So there are some that use word prompts and some that use actual question prompts, that kind of deal. I use word prompt because it helps me to think outside the box. It helps me to think about things that I wouldn't normally think about. And it pushed me to like dive into things that I may have forgotten about, but realizing that it's still there lurking around and I haven't fully got over it. So word prompts motivates me every day. I use selective words, something that happened for the day, and I might use that word as a motivation. And it just dive in, not just for that moment, for more than just that moment. So that is one way you can do the journaling. Now when you decide what you want to do, what kind of journaling you want to do, what kind of writing you want to do in your journal, then it's about the actual journal / notebook. This is important for a lot of people. There are some people who don't care. Any notebook will do. When I started out doing writing in journals, my journals were very simple, plain, because I only wrote with regular pen. As I started getting into the daily journaling, I realized that I liked to do other things on the pages besides writing. I like doing collage. I like doing a little bit of art. I like writing with fountain pen. So when that happened, I started considering the paper. The paper meant something. Then also the cover meant something. There are people who are visual. They like to see pretty things or like to see things that are pleasing to their eyes. So you have to select a journal that you like looking at, that you will want to pick up. And the more you pick it up, the more likely you are to actually write in it. Again, this might not mean nothing to some people because they could write in any journal, it doesn't matter. But if you are a visual person, take a look in the bookstore. Go into a stationery store. Walk around and see what you like. Also, you have the option. You can buy a plain journal and decorate the cover however you want. I have all kind of cover. I have covers that are very leather. My current cover right now is this green cork material that I really like. And then I also have covers that I decorated and put things on. I'm very visual. I like my cover to look a certain way that I can play with it. Even with this, it came without these things, and I added these charms to it because I wanted more than just this. I wanted something extra. Now, you can do that. Decorate it however you want. It's your journal. But pick something that you know you're going to like to pick up. You're going to like to look at. It's going to make you smile. All right. So then you got to think of schedule. A time of day that you can commit to at least 15 minutes. I say 15 minutes because you don't want to feel rushed. You don't want to just put 5 minutes in a slot and then you feel like you're rushing. I say 15 minutes because you can really do a lot in 15 minutes. And it also depends on your mood, because there are some days that you may not need all that 15 minutes, but there's some days you might need more. Pick the time of day that you know you're usually relaxing. That might be the time of day that you're likely to sit down and turn the TV on, or you're likely to sit down and open a book. That's the time of day that will fit for you because you're relaxed, or you have that you don't have a demanding something to do that's going to take away from that. And then when you start doing it around that time, it becomes a routine. There's some people, the first thing they do in the morning is pick up their journal because it's a routine that they picked up. They write in their journal before they start their day. There's some people that prefer the end of the day. Things are done. They're done for the day. Their minds are clear. They can start, pick up their journal and write in it for the end of the day. Now, I am that person that do typically, I would say, the end of the day. I'm an evening person, but I'm also been a late night person as well. So it all depends on what happened that day, what my schedule looked like. But I haven't missed a day because I typically write around the same time, especially when I'm working. I'm on vacation now, so I'm typically a little later than normal. But when I'm working, I'm usually in the early evening and I get it done, and that's it for the end of the day. So these are the 3 important things that I think of. Now, if you are that person who have started journaling and you find that it's not motivating enough, or you're not, try incorporate art journaling. Try maybe collage, because that's something that I find for me motivated me. It made me kind of excited for what I can do to that page that day. So I decorate the page, and then it makes me write. It makes me feel like, oh, let me write. I could write now because I love what I did on the page. That might help some people. Other people, it might be relocate, not write in the same spot every night or every morning. Maybe do it in the kitchen, maybe in your living room or your bedroom, or somewhere that you don't constantly write in the same spot that you feel very robotic and you can't be motivated. So I suggest that you move around and find other ways to do it, especially when the weather gets good. Wintertime I know it's a bit of much more of a struggle because you're confined to your home most of the time. But like when the weather is good, spring and summer, I am in the back on the deck. I am at a park somewhere else, because sometimes you may need to remove yourself from the same spot you typically journal at and move around so that you don't feel robotic. So but these are some of the things I feel like, how to start journaling. Another thing that I always say, just do it. Just open that book and write whatever comes to your mind. Even if it's nonsense, if it don't feel like it's something important, write whatever comes to your mind. Because in that moment, it might not seem like nothing, but you may look back on it a few weeks later and you're like, oh wow, I was feeling this way, or I thought this way. And it might help you to deal with certain circumstances that you may experience. So that's where I'm going to leave it with this. So go ahead, guys. Join me. It starts on December 25th and it ends on New Year's Eve. So 7 days of journaling with me. Share it. Use the hashtag #JournalMood so I can find you. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys. This was my kind of question. I love journaling stuff, so keep them coming. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.